Okay, so today we're working with the Scion. We have this giant roof rack, which is, collapsible, so you can take some of the sections out and bolt it up, so it's like half section. So right now, when I put the rack on, it extends from about right here to about right where that line is right there, the window line. And I went to San Francisco, and this thing was just shifting because of the weight, the wind, and it wasn't tightened down great enough. So what I'm gonna do today is, we have these loosened. We're gonna take the rack piece off, not the rack, sorry, these strut things, whatever the fuck they're called. We're gonna take these off, and we're gonna put the rack on the car. That's why we have this. We don't want to scratch up the car, so we're gonna lay the rack on top of the car. We're gonna figure out a way we can drill holes into this directly through these bars right here and mount it permanently on there. It's not gonna be permanently on the car, it's just gonna be permanently to these braces. Alright, so we're gonna start by loosening. Well, these are already loose now, but we're gonna have to bring this little bracket up and over, and we're gonna lift it off just like that. Pretty damn easy. We're gonna repeat that process for both sides right here. So as you can see, inside of here, this is the underneath side of it. We got the two little screw-on things that hold it in place to the length you want it to be on your car. So this is adjustable. You can move this inward, closer, if your car has a shorter, width base on top, or longer, you can move it this way. My car is bottomed out pretty much all this way. That's why you have a hard time screwing. We're gonna drill some holes and put some bolts directly through here and through one of these bars. Alright, so since this is going to be the top front brace closest to the windshield, I can see right here where I had some wear and tear. This is where I had it set before. I had it clamped onto this bracket with some clamps. The clamps they give you, they're not very stable, and they're just shitty. So we're going to screw some holes directly into this bar right here and put a bolt, and then put some nuts on there. So what I did was, I had zip tied the bar exactly where I want it, somewhat in the right place. I mean, obviously you can still move a little bit, have a little bit of play, but you want that so you can put it exactly where you want it, drill the holes, and then set your threaded bar or your bolt through there first. Either way, a bolt will work. You can have a bolt and then put some washer and then a nut on the other side, and then cut the rest of that off. Cut the rest of the bolt off if you want anything, if you want it flush, or you can just put like a full threaded rod. That's still a bolt. It's not a bolt if it doesn't have an end on it, but you can do that as well. Right. So everyone obviously has a whole ass bucket of bolts. So you just want to try to find something similar to this, but it has some weird threading thing on the bottom, and I don't want that. So I'm just gonna keep looking around for a long enough bolt that will fit through there, so I can still get a washer on the other end. I just have to cut something off, like a long rod or something. Found a bolt. It's long enough, and it has a washer and a larger washer just to keep it in place. So we're gonna keep these on the bottom side so you won't see that, and then we're gonna have another washer with a lock washer and a nut. And then if there's anything exposed, I could grind it off, but I don't think it's gonna be much. So. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hammer it flat first. A little bit. Finally. Fuck. This has got to be the easiest, unless you measure it all out and stuff. That's gonna take forever. All right. Alrighty, so now we got the bar off. We have our holes pre-drilled on one side only. And over here, we can see exactly where our holes are. So we have one right here, another one right here. So we're gonna just continue that out on the other side. Don't make it that big. That should be good for there. That one, that should be good. We need to do the underside of this. So, we fill one right here and another one right here. So, we're just gonna go directly above it. It's a little tricky. This is a really, really fucking hard piece to do.
Six and a half hours later.
I'm gonna go slow first and push down a little bit.
Few inches later. Day 2. Day 2. Day 3. Day 4. A few moments later. One eternity later.
Almost got it. Finally, yes! I currently realize I can mount this closer to the body, but I'm gonna have to cut out these right here. This little piece right here. So underneath where I'm gonna have the bracket, because it needs to go through here. It physically can't go through here with this. So I'm gonna have to fucking cut this piece out with the grinder. And over there too, same with the back. So now they've got this done, let's cut those out first and then we can bolt it together, move on to the back. Okay, so what I did was I removed the nut from right here and the other nut twister thingy on this side, so it had enough room so this doesn't get in the way, this little metal bar. And we bolted it right here. We're gonna tighten it up in a sec. It should give us a little more, less clearance, so it should be closer to the body. I'm giving about a hand, maybe a hand and a half width of room, opposed to a whole inch and a half that I had before. So we're gonna keep this as tight as we can because it only has so much room, so you're gonna get it even no matter what bolts you use. So as you can see right here, this is a lot shorter bolt, this one's taller. I'm gonna have to cut this piece off, so it doesn't matter what bolt, as long as it reaches, it's gonna be the same height. So we're gonna repeat that process to the back too. So just remember, if you have the same eBay roof rack, just remove those bolts. You might want to actually take them out, because I left them here just because I'm being lazy. I do want to remove them. It's just, there is a key, like a plastic key, like an Allen wrench key that you have to take on the end. Pop that off, pop this piece off, take all these off, and then take the little metal. It has a square piece welded to the end of the bolt. You have to take that all off along with this one, and then put this one back on and reinstall everything rest back out to each side. I could have done that, but I don't think it's gonna make any noise. That's the only reason I would remove them, is because if they're making clankly noises, but that one might. We'll see. So I got these bolts right here. I'm obviously gonna have to cut some of it down because they're really long, but I shaved a little bit of the back piece, that the clamp that holds onto the car. I shaved a bit of that off so it fits more closer to the rack itself.
2, day 3, day 4. A few moments later.
Alright, so now I'm just gonna try to put the roof rack back on, and let's see what happens. This bitch is fucking heavy. This thing weighs more than me. I didn't cut one of the screws and now it's scratching my roofs. So I got it on there. I just need to tighten down the little brackets because as you can see, I have like a lot less gap. So it's actually sitting on the roof right there. I'm gonna keep this little microfiber protective sheet thingy on here, and I'm tied it down, and I have a whole lot less gap between here. Before it was like this piece had that much room until the bottom was right here, so I had to get like 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches. God damn, look at my hands, they look like fucking shit. They look dry as shit. Okay, so enough of my hands, but yeah, looks a lot better. It's sitting a little more flush.